Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It's the match preview show ahead of Union Saint-Gilloise against Liverpool in the Europa League. I'm Steve Hood, joined by Dom and by Lewis for this one. And yeah, for Liverpool, a little bit of a dead rubber, but that can always be exciting too. Don't turn off just yet, because might be a couple of young players, a couple of fringe players who we all want to talk about and maybe get some action. And for Union, it's still a big game for Union. First of all, they get to host Liverpool, albeit not in their own stadium, but there's a chance Union can actually qualify. We'll go through those scenarios a little bit later. Dom, I'll start with you. Like I say, for Liverpool, it's good that they've got to this stage where this is effectively, there's no jeopardy in this game other than, please, goodness gracious me, nobody get injured.
Yeah.
Jurgen's team news is going to be fascinating. The team selection is going to be fascinating. We had a brief talk off camera. Like, if anyone watched any of the Champions League fixtures yesterday, there were a few dead rubbers. Real Madrid had effectively one that they didn't need anything from. Bayern Munich did the same, obviously beat Manchester United. We saw Arsenal in Eindhoven doing the same thing, and they all picked like not strong teams, but like Saliba played, Harry Kane played. It feels like any expectation that Jurgen is just going to pick a complete under-21s team is probably wide of the mark. We're probably going to see some familiar faces in this one. It just depends who.
Yeah, and I still think he wants to carry on that winner mentality, doesn't he? It's, you want to win every game, and no matter who plays for Liverpool, he should be capable. But I would like to see a couple of fringe players. I know we want to keep the squad together. We've got a couple of injuries here and there, but personally, I think there's a couple of players there that need actual confidence, because you see Nunes, he can't hit a barn door at the moment, and I think it's a game for him. If he gets a couple and then goes into Sunday with a bit more confidence in front of goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it's one of them, isn't it? And also, you've got to remember that these teams in the Champions League, as well as the Europa, when you win, you get more money.
Yeah, Jurgen said that last time. There's a couple of £1 million at play, and I don't know, the new stand's been delayed for about 3 months or whatever, so Liverpool could maybe do it topping the coppers off a little bit. Lewis, I'll come to you. The obvious place to go is like when you're trying to pick a team. I always think Liverpool sometimes give you a clue. By all accounts, Harvey Elliott's going to be the man doing the press conference later. Is that probably a suggestion that we might see Harvey Elliott from the start?
I think so. He's not getting a lot of game time at the minute in the league. He's coming on as the impact sub, and it's going to be weird to think that him going into that team, he might be one of the most experienced players, depending who's around him. But yeah, he's really stepped up this season. I think he's earned the right to be considered one of the core members of the squad. And it sounds a bit daft, but him being in the press conference is a big sign that Klopp's got a lot of faith in him. He wouldn't put you there unless you were a leader or you were someone who represented how he wanted to play. So yeah, I think Elliott's going to start. I can see him getting the full 90 minutes just for rotation's sake. I don't see him starting at the weekend against United. So yeah, I'm all for it if he does.
Got a comment here from Rob who says the main starters for me the main starters will be Kelleher, Jones, Elliott, Quanta, Bradley and Endo. Of those, Dom, I'd be shocked if Endo played this one, given that McAllister looks like, by all accounts, he's probably going to miss United. He had the knee brace on, and there's reports that he could be even switch to go for Arsenal. Endo has played a couple of games. He got subbed off at half time the other day, but maybe it's just one too many for him to go again. He looked a little bit tired, actually, I thought, at the weekend. Liverpool do have James McConnell as the young number 6 option. I was thinking, if you're trying to pick a couple of kids who play, McConnell as that 6 feels like one that probably makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
definitely. I think I'm with you on the Endo one. The last thing we need is to have people saying we have 0-6s at the moment, to then have minus 0-6s at the moment. Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't like to see him there, to be honest. There's a couple that I wouldn't like to, squad members, because I think this running, they'll be needed in the Premier League, and it's a massive month for us, this.
Yeah,
massive.
And again, the United thing has to come into play, Lewis. It just has to. Listen, this shit, I understand Man United's crap, but the Man United at home, it's a big game. Liverpool, top of the league, a chance. By the time we play, there's a chance other teams have overtaken again, and you're looking to get back into it. It does feel like your starting point should almost be, well, what 11 do I want at Man United?
Yeah.
And then work backwards from that and go, well, if I want all them starting, I probably don't want any of them starting this one. How can we make a team? Do you think that'll be Jurgen's mindset?
I think so, but at the same time, there's players in that squad who need not motivation. What's the word? They need a confidence booster. Nunez is one, for example. He needs to get some goals in him.
Start him.
Yeah, I would. I think this is the perfect example. This is a team who are going to go at us because they've got something to play for. Nunez getting in behind, knock a few goals, get his confidence up for the United game. But yeah, it's got to be in your forefront. We're already top of the league. We're already through. we can't lose, essentially. So you've got to consider what we're doing at the weekend. Like you mentioned then, United, they're not in the best form or anything at the moment, but regardless of that, we saw last season, they lost the first 2 games, they played us and they absolutely battered us. So we've got to really take that into account. We can't look at them any lighter than we normally would, make that the main focus, and just for this game, bring in a few players who we want to see progress, we want to see learn the system, and just rotate. It's there for a reason. If you're not going to trust the young lads to do a job in this kind of situation, what's the point in having them?
The interesting one is, we spoke about Nunes there, Tom. If you look at Liverpool's appearances this season, Nunes has made the most. Him and Salah have played in 22 games. Now, obviously, on and off the pitch and subs on, subs off and everything, but Nunes has played all 5. He's been involved in all 5 of the games. So has Salah, which I think is quite a shock as well. If you that's the only reason why you might go against them and say, listen, you've played more games than everybody else. But then the flip side is what you said. He couldn't have to with a goal, and even a goal against Union might just give him a little bit of a boost. It's the Nunes one is a difficult situation.
It is, but you've also, I think Klopp will already have the 11 in his mind for Sunday regardless. Yeah. So I think it'll be a case of, for me personally, I'd love to see Gakpo play against United, just for linking it, being a bit clever against them, pulling them into different positions where you've got Nunes and he'll play off maybe the centre half. So yeah, I'd like to see him go out there, get a couple of goals tomorrow night, and then go into Sunday with a bit more confidence.
Got a couple of kids I want to talk to you about here. Again, I've got the appeal. These are people who've been involved, have actually made an appearance for Liverpool this season. Look at the bottom of this list. I'll read out for those if the screen's a bit small. You've got, of the young players, we'll include Kwanzaa perhaps, probably should. Kelleher. You've got Doak, Chambers, Bacheta, who's injured, so we can exclude him. McConnell, Scanlon and Bradley. You've also got young Tay and Inyoni, whose name I really struggle with, who's like 16-year-old kid. He was on the bench against Brentford. I could see a world, Dom, where Kwanzaa starts. Yeah. Although we did start the weekend, so we'll see about that one. Kelleher will be in goal. I think we can be certain of that. Could you see Doak, Chambers, McConnell, Scanlon, and Bradley all playing? No. Because there's a version. If Scanlon plays left wing rather than left back, which he can do both, there is a world where you can get them all in the team to start. If you say no, who do you think will out of those kids?
Ooh, that's a difficult one.
Kelleher and Kwanzaa?
I think Kelleher, Kwanzaa and Doak.
Bradley at right back, maybe?
And Bradley, sorry. I just feel like, for me, I'd be very cautious with Gomez because his performance on the weekend, I think it was absolutely superb, and it's the best I've seen him in a long time. Yeah. I've never seen him so confident and so Joel Matip-like with his running forward. I'd like to see him carry that form on, and I think it's a game where you go, do you know what, we'll hold off with Gomez on this one because we could definitely do with him on Sunday. Yeah, depending on what he does with Trent, of course, but I think the option's there. If Gomez is fit on Sunday, you could then bring him on like we done on the weekend. So yeah, I think it'd be nice to see Bradley out there, wouldn't it? It'd be nice to see him in a red shirt again and giving him a good go, because I feel like he's got a bit of a chance to prove himself now, and the later we get in this competition, the less likely we're going to see Conor Bradley. So
I agree. I think he has to. If he, again, fitness permitting, but he's been on the bench a couple of times. He got on, didn't he, in the last game? I agree. I'd love Conor Bradley to start. Left back then, on the Gomez thing, Lewis. He's been doing a bit of job backing up Kostas Timikas as well. Kostas obviously the weekend. Feels Chambers could be. You could go Chambers. Yeah. Would you be shocked if it's a back four of Kelleher in goal, rather Chambers and Bradley at full back, Kwanzaa, and then probably one of the centre backs? Now that could be Gomez or Ibu. Yeah. Would you go along with that, do you think?
I mean, yeah. And I know it sounds a bit daft. I wouldn't necessarily want to see Kelleher in goal. I think he will be. But we need to think next season Kelleher's probably not going to be there. So maybe we need to give someone Pitaluga a go, see if he can, step up to that backup role. So that's just one thing. Chambers, I think this is made for him. He's already played in the Europa League. Definitely deserves to go. Kwanzaa and Bradley, I think, are pretty nailed on. The concern is next to him, we've got no Matip now, so Konate is second choice behind Van Dijk, so he's going to start against United. Is Klopp going to risk him?
Gomez then? Maybe gives it to Gomez and says, look after yourself, or you go half each. Go Ibu and Gomez do fit for, or whatever. Yeah,
it's harder. It's harder because like this whole debate at the moment of do we get a CDM centre back? It's harder to make makeshift centre backs. Yeah, you have to play an out and out centre back, and we've only got 3 or 4 of them at the moment, unless we're bringing someone back from loan, like Sepp Vandenberg or Billy Koumetio maybe starts getting a go or something. The only word I can see is Gomez and Kwanzaa really starting in that back four, which, like you said, isn't the best thing in the world, but we just don't have a lot of options at the minute.
I'm just checking here now on the team that Liverpool played against Bradford recently in the old Papa John's, the EFL Trophy thing, because it's a lot of young kids in that. In terms of that one, the only other ones that we haven't really mentioned too much yet, you've got Freundorf, who's been in and around the first team before. He's been on tours and stuff, haven't you? You could potentially do something with Harvey Blair. Maybe he's been in and around it a little bit at times. And then the other one is Musolowski, and I'll come to you on him, Dom. Like, if Liverpool don't want to pick any of the current 4 forwards because they say, listen, we've got too many games coming up. We've got Man United, then we've got a League Cup quarter final, and then we've got Arsenal. 3 relatively big games in a week. If you want to give them all off, it could be like a young kid like him who gets a debut up front and goes, listen, you go and have 90 minutes in your mate with no pressure on you whatsoever. Go and fill your boots. There's a chance he's at least involved, and he's never played for Liverpool yet.
No, and I think there's obviously something going on there, which is why he hasn't, because, you know, a player of his quality, you can clearly see it. He looks like he's stuck in that gap of, is he too good for the under-21s, but is he not good enough for Liverpool's first team? It's a bit of a problem, that, and I think we'll never know that unless he actually gets a game in the first team. So I don't know whether Klopp fancies him, whether he doesn't, but I'd like to see him, because like you said there, watching him in the under-21s this season, he's been absolutely flying, and, you know, his goals, one of the goal of the Papa John's Cup, whatever it's called now, was unbelievable. So, you know, I kind of feel like like you said, it's a dead rubber game, but Klopp's attitude of, I need to win and we need to pick up the pennies as well. We'll oversee that.
Yeah, we'll see how it all pans out. Right then, we'll go through a little team in a minute, and we'll go through the scenarios involving Union and what can happen with them in terms of what they need from the game, which might impact Jurgen's decisions a bit later. Before we do that, you might be able to see it in front of me there. We've got a poster. Let me lean forward and grab it. Oh, subtle, look at that for flexibility. This is the latest prize we're giving away in our Redman Legends draw. It's a poster, basically. Remember Divock's winning against, second goal against Everton. It is by Matty723, wonderful designer. He sent us that, and we're going to give it to one of our Redmen Legends. So yes, I've got the wheel here with all the names of our Redmen Legends subscribers on it. I'm going to click this wheel, we're going to spin it, and whoever comes out is getting their hands on that poster. Congratulations and well done to LFC Joe. Well done, LFC Joe. You are getting that poster. We'll be in touch soon, my friends, to get it delivered to you. Just to let you know, tomorrow's prize is an absolute belter. Before the kick-off on our watch-along, it's me and Chris on that one, we'll be giving away a signed Dirk Kuyt shirt. So if you're a Redmen Plus Legend subscriber, you'll be in the draw. If you're not, you've got 24 hours, maybe a bit more, to go and sign up redmenplus.com, join as a legend, and we'll do the draw before kick-off on the game, and someone will win a signed Dirk Kuyt shirt. Absolute belter prize. After that, there's still loads more to give away. We've got signed copy books, we've got a signed glove by Chris Kirkland, we've got a programme signed by Jamie Carragher, we've got a shirt signed by Ibu Kanate as well. So get yourselves involved at Redmen Plus. Go and join as a legend. If you do it today, you'll be on the wheel tomorrow, and someone will win a signed Dirk Kuyt shirt. Right then, let's focus a little bit, Tom, if you don't mind, on Union. So, as it stands in Group E, they are third on 5 points. Toulouse are second on 8 points. Now, they drew against each other in both games. There was a 0-0 and a 1-0. The goal difference is currently Toulouse are on -2, mainly because we battered them. Union are on -4. They've been a bit more consistent, but they've lost quite a lot of games. And bear in mind, Lask are behind on 3 points. So, a lot to unpack here. Union can still come top. Sorry, can still get second and get through. But they could also drop to fourth and not even be in the Conference League, depending on how this game goes. So, they're going to be taking this one seriously. Worst case for them is they just need to win, and then hope that worst case that keeps them third, and maybe if Lask pull off the upset in Toulouse and there's a goal difference swing, there's a chance they get through. So while we're saying dead rubber for Liverpool, it's not a dead rubber for the opposition, and therefore I wonder if Jurgen takes that into account as well. Like, you don't want your kids just getting battered 7-0 or something. And that, listen, with all due respect, like we saw a very young Liverpool team the other day get beat by Bradford 4-0. Like, exactly. the levels between under-21 football and professional football are high, which makes you probably, and you said before, you think there might actually be a few more first teamers than, and for that might be one of the reasons why. Yeah, definitely, like you said, there a lot to play for Union. You know, the couple of danger men, more so for the young kids, let's be honest, because, you know, the first team beat them comfortably. However, like you've just said there, in terms of confidence, I think the last thing you want to do is play too many kids
and just absolutely shatter them.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, they be beat by Bradford there. They haven't really pulled up any trees in them when it's come to big games in the Papa John's.
That was the first time they've ever got out the group. And then
they've really struggled. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? You don't want to damage them for the confidence, because then you'll notice that in training, then am I good enough to play for Liverpool? All this starts coming into players' heads. I'd probably play 3 or 4 maximum, and then the squad comes into use. I think that's what we've got a squad for. We've never had a squad probably as competitive as this for as long as I can remember anyway. So I think, get a couple of goals, get ahead, then start pulling your players off. However, like you said, big game for Union. They will want to go through.
Worst case is they want to be in that Conference League, don't they? They don't want to be out of European football.
No, definitely not, because it's finance.
And Lask, I know there's 2 points difference in it, so there's no way they can even, a draw and a Lask win would just about be enough. So it's if you look at it in terms of Group E as a whole, if say there's a draw and it gets them to 6 and then Lask beat Toulouse, I think Lask go in the tiebreaker because they beat them 3-0. So that it is that Union really could do a win in this game. So you are right, it does put a little bit of a different perspective on it. I'm just going to go back to Liverpool's 11 and for the game against Crystal Palace at the weekend, we saw all 3 midfielders go off. Gravenberch, Endo and Szoboszlai all went off at different stages. I wouldn't be shocked, Lewis, if Gravenberch started or Curtis Jones. One of those will start. So whoever Jürgen isn't going to start against United or doesn't plan to start against United, I'm guessing that'll be one of the more senior players who starts on that left-hand side. So the question would be, who do you think of those he has in mind for United, and therefore who do you think might get the nod here?
I think Jones will start against United purely because, I know it sounds a bit daft, he's a Scouser. It seems like the perfect environment for him to go right in. He started against Man City, so he's already shown that he trusts him in the big games. And Gravenberch's form in Europa League's been outstanding. So I think he wants to maybe carry that run going. He didn't look particularly great against Palace, so maybe just to sort of, give him a bit more form, just keep him ticking along. It is difficult. I wouldn't be shocked, like you said, if Szoboszlai was to come on later on, just to kill the game off maybe in the last few minutes, just get his legs running. It's just difficult to say because, like you said, we're down McAllister. We've got injuries are starting to pile up a little bit. It's just difficult to pick who's going to start each and every game. And I saw the comment then saying Klopp doesn't disregard any matches. I don't think he does, but there's times to do it and there's times to not do it. And this is definitely one of the times where we can't risk injury towards this point of the season. So
I don't think he would ever do this, but if I was in charge, there wouldn't be a single first team player.
Get Jay Spear and all.
Honestly, I would. I know there's rules around who's registered for Europe and stuff, but I know you've got the B list, so you can't just pick any kids. They have to have been registered.
Yeah.
But we saw that Michelin game that time when Jota got injured. Now Jota was a backup. It's just but he did get a massive. He got a massive injury at that one. If it was me, I would be trying to send the team that went to Aston Villa that time when all the players were on holiday, or whatever, or the team that he played in Shrewsbury rather went out again. All the lads were on holiday. I think if it was a domestic game, there would be more reason to do that. Obviously, the registration rules making a thing done, but that is the risk here. Is that whether it's a first team 11 player or a squad player, there is always that risk of injury in these kind. And listen, you can get injured today. They're training today. Any times have someone's got a knock in training and they're out, so it can happen. But that's the only thing going into tomorrow's game. Now it's almost one of those games where we're going to sit and watch it. We're going to have a good time. We're going to be fairly chill about it. The only thing we're going to be sitting there for 90 minutes, whether just crossing our fingers that everyone's sound. That's all. It's only bad things can happen on that front. That's all we're waiting for. It does feel it's a bit like a weird situation to be in.
Yeah, it is. It's like you said, it's a bit of a cruise control game, isn't it? Where if they go behind you, a bit like we're through anyway. But at the same time, you don't want to lose. But then you've got players on that side there who, I mean, everyone wants to run through a brick wall for Klopp, but there's times and places to do it. And with you, I wouldn't want to see any of them if I'm being completely honest, but I think right now there's a couple that do need to be in it.
Yeah.
And that's just me. I just feel like the squad's there for a reason. You start taking these players along, keep them happy, keep them going, keep them sharp, and then you never know, Sunday one of them might be starting because someone gets injured in training or anything. So
the last one, I guarantee is too harsh. Mo Salah will get on this pitch at some point.
Yeah.
Mo Salah will be on. Honestly, I bet you he's done it. He's done it loads. He's done these dead rubbers before. He just brings them on. It's almost like Salah needs games. He's like a racehorse who's better for the run kind of thing. I don't think he'd start. He might start, but I'd be shocked if we don't see a little bit of Mo Salah.
Give him the last 5 minutes or something. I just don't want to risk it.
I'm with you.
I agree, it's great when he comes on and he scores, and everyone loves it, but like I said, there's a time and a place. You've got Ben Doak there, who needs the game time. Kate Gordon's still in that squad. Salah, he's, as much as he's physically impressive, and we all know it, he's getting on a bit now in terms of football sense. He needs games off, and United, he's probably going to play the full 90 minutes. It's going to be a game where he's going to have to run his heart out. Just give him this week off and just allow him to recuperate. We've seen Newcastle this season. They keep playing the same players over and over and over again, and it's hampered them. We need to rotate and use that squad that's there, especially these young lads. For some of them, this is going to be the biggest game of their life. So while Salah, I would like to see Salah for the last 5 minutes, give it to someone like a Bendo, give him the opportunity to really show what he's capable of going forward.
You've got a comment here from DFB. Is that 7 years? 50 minutes to go. Maybe they bring him on to get a goal. That's what he does, but I'd rather just not take him yet. I think we're all in agreement. You touched upon it there. The last thing I want to talk about before we actually pick a team, then I'll come to you on this one, Dom. Is Kate Gordon. Been out for so long. He's been out for ages and ages and ages. He's probably not ready to do a full 90 minutes just yet. But he was a late addition to the last European squad drive. He didn't get any, of course he didn't get any minutes in that one. It was last. We got there. Easy for me to say. Depending on where he's at, I would love to see him get some minutes. I think everyone forgets now, like, he was the Ben Doak of like 2 years ago. He got injured, and if you look at him now, you can see why he had a growing injury, because he's massive. He's had a real massive growth spurt, and I think that's what caused hip issues. He went through this. His body just changed like relatively quickly. I would, again, I like Ben Doak, but I think it would be refreshing if it's one or the other. I'd rather just see a little bit more of Kate Gordon again. It might be one where you give them both a few minutes each. Gordon can just go and play centre forward as well. That's certainly an option, but it would be nice for Kate. It'd be nice for him. You know, after such a long rehab period, he's now back. He's relatively fit. He's training. He's been involved with the first team training sessions for a while. It would be nice to see a little bit of Kate Gordon, because he was the next big thing before Ben Doak became the next big thing kind of thing.
Well, yeah, no, I completely agree. I think you'll probably see Doak start, if any of them, though, and then maybe give him the last half an hour. I feel like that's the best thing to do for both of them, to be honest with you, because, you know, there's competition now between both of them as well. It's not just obviously Salah. We all know Salah's in a league of his own, but there's a couple of lads there now who are competing against each other, and that'll be quite refreshing to see how he gets on. But yeah, I think after a long time out, it'd be nice for him to see him in a red shirt again, give him a bit of confidence that, you know, he's still in touch with that first team, and you never know, get a goal. Right,
we're going to play game night. By the way, just let you know, if we get this right, honestly, I want flowers for days if we manage to get this right, because we're going to try and predict the 11 Jurgen's going to select. We'll do it as a group. We all think Keller's going to be in goal.
Yeah.
Are we all saying Chambers and Bradley at fullback?
Yeah, Scanlon will come on later on.
But they're going to start. Will we go with that one?
Yeah.
Kwanzaa's playing centre back.
Yeah.
Gomez
centre back.
Okay, yeah, I think it'll be Gomez as well. Yeah. Number 6, I think it'll be McConnell.
Do you?
Yeah. I think he's looking at. Endo has to play against Man United. I think he'll have to. And I think it'll be. McConnell's been the one. He's been more around it than most of these kids we've mentioned. He's been on the bench. He's got games. I think it'll be McConnell. You guys can overrule me, by the way.
No, I agree. There's no one else. If Tyler Morton was still there, I'd be saying Tyler Morton, but there's just no one to deputise. So yeah,
it could be Endo. I mean, he could do it. He could go Gravenberch if he wanted, but he could do Jones. That's an option as well.
Jones will be on the left.
Well, that's what I'm thinking as well. So I think. Well, I don't know. I think. Are we happy with McConnell?
Yeah.
We all presume Elliott's playing on the right, given he's in the press conference.
Yeah. Pretty much set now.
Left midfield then.
Gravenberch.
I think it'll be Gravenberch.
I think it'll be Gravenberch, but I've got a weird suspicion that Neoni might get a go.
I just don't think him starting. He might be the one who comes on to get Gravenberch off.
He'll be involved in some capacity. If it's a starter,
that's mad. We've just signed him. He's like 14, no, 16. 16-year-old kids. Like, that lad was born like in the 2000s. It's just.
I seen his debut for the under-21s a couple of weeks ago, and he looked like it was a bit of a rabbit in the headlines against West Ham, which are a really good side at that level. I think it might be a little bit too early.
I wouldn't be shocked if he's on the bench, but like if he gets,
he was 16 when we.
You can do it. You can absolutely do it. It's not a problem. So Gravenberch, we're happy with Gravenberch. Yeah. Okay, let's pick a front three. Doak on the right.
Yeah,
I think so. And then Nunez in the middle, I reckon.
Nunez and Jones for me.
Nunez and Jones. I was thinking Nunez, Scanlon.
I feel like Nunez, and I know it's going to be a bit. I think Diaz might start maybe. Just for the first 45, get him going a bit.
I'm terrified of that. Absolutely terrified of that one, but it wouldn't shock me.
I'm going to stop the playing now. Can I go?
Right then, just to let you guys know as well, on the YouTube channel we'll get a score prediction from the guys. Good luck with that. But before we get this, we'll let you know on the YouTube channel, as it stands, Paul and Joe are in Brussels right now, so keep an eye out on our YouTube channel here on Redmen. Also, if you haven't subscribed to Match TV, Paul's own personal YouTube channel, there'll be some Union-based content there as well. Paul's taking part in a fan exchange program. It's really funny, so yeah, keep an eye out on that as well. Obviously, for the game itself, I know it's a little bit more light-hearted, so come and join me and Chris for the watch along. We'll have a chat through everything, so you can watch the game and have a little chat with us as you go through. And like I say, we'll give a Dirk Out signed shirt to somebody. That'll be 15 minutes before kick-off. We'll go live on that one. An hour before that, we'll react to the team news, and honestly, if we've got this right, tops off. I guarantee someone will take the top off if one of us got that 11 right. Right then, guys, we've got no idea what the team's going to be. Union, desperate to win. Their record in the Europa League so far is play 5, won 1, drawn 2, lost 2. That's their record. Even begin to give me a score prediction. Good luck if you get this one right, but Lewis, I'll start with you.
See, I want to be positive. In my mind, for some reason, I've got a weird thing that they're just, because they're going to go for it and we might play a really youthful side, I can see a defeat, maybe. But I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think that's on a positive spin on it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm going to go back to our famous scoreline of the season, 3-1.
Win?
Liverpool win.
Right.
I think it'll be stronger than we expect.
I'm just looking, sorry, by the way, it's come very, very late, but Liverpool's the team who trained has just come out. Shall I go through all the names?
Go on.
Okay. Van Dijk, Kwanzaa, Konate, Gomez, Trent, Timmercast, Bradley, Chambers and Scanlon, so they're the 3 youngsters. We've got Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Jones, Endo, Elliott, McConnell and Hill. Hill is the other one we didn't mention before. And then up front, Salah, Gakpo, Diaz, Nunes, but then it's Doak, Gordon and Kumas. Ooh. So they're Kumas is in the mix as well.
He's a player.
Yeah, Lewis Kumas is in the mix. So he's another option. So they're potentially, keep an eye on that one. Lewis Kumas, Tom Hill, they're the 2 we didn't mention. Could certainly see a little bit of them as well.
So we've got the team wrong.
No, everyone.
Oh no, Leone is not.
Leone is the only one. But and again, just because he didn't say it today, he might still. Who knows? He's been in the squads before.
Yeah.
1-1. I don't know. I got no idea. I hope we win, but it is what it is. Right then. Yeah, thank you very much, guys, for joining us for this one. Do come and join us for all of the content. Keep an eye on the YouTube channel for loads of it. And of course, post this game, we'll be building up to Man United as well. Very, very quick before we go, you can see these jumpers behind me if you're watching live on YouTube. Our Christmas sweaters, there's Szoboszlai, Trent, and behind me there as well. We've got Darwin Nunez. If you're in the UK and you want to order one of these and guarantee delivery before Christmas, you've got to have them ordered by midnight on Thursday evening. So midnight Thursday. After that, you might still get them before Christmas, but you might not. So if you're going to get one and you want it before Crimbo Day, then you have to get your orders in by midnight tomorrow at time of recording. So just give you a heads up on that one. You can't blame me if you miss out now. That Trent one, by the way, is flying out. Absolutely flying out. So yeah, keep your eyes on that one as well. So all at redmenmerch.com. Right, anyway, thanks to Lewis, thanks to Dom, thanks to you guys for watching or listening, and we'll see you next time on another match preview ahead of the Man United game. See you in a bit.
Hey, thank you so much for checking out the content today. If you want to get your name in and amongst these wonderful people, then head to redmenplus.com. Join as a Legend tier subscriber. You're going to get free merchandise codes. You're going to get in our Discord, and you're going to get your name at the end of YouTube videos. Yes, redmenplus.com, Legend tier status.